Hello everyone, how's it going? So we have a brand new trailer for Life is Strange Reunion. This is supposed to be the next major entry, and look, I have played every Life is Strange game since it came out and 100%ed all of them, including the remasters. So I know a lot about this franchise, and I can say that the last game sucked. It was really, really bad, and I thought I was alone on this. I thought I just wasn't seeing something, but apparently I wasn't alone. A lot of people agreed that the game just simply was not up to par compared to all the other Life is Strange games, especially Life is Strange 1, considering this was the reunion of Max Caulfield, and she was just sand off. Like, the character was, they removed all her edge. She had no real characterization, and Safi, who was supposed to be like this replacement for Chloe, was the most insufferable, pretentious, aggravating person I've ever met. I was like, old Max would have called this person out immediately for being the person that she is, but god damn, she was just the most unlikable person in the entire franchise, and I say that like with full heart. And all the other characters didn't really measure up either. Moses was constantly a victim. He constantly kept saying like, I'm not the problem, everyone else is the problem. And yeah, Moses was just a terrible person. Same thing for everyone else. Like, every other person just felt like such an aggravating, pretentious embodiment of race Palpatine from Star Wars. Like, the universe had to bend over to them. No one really had any type of common sense. Everyone had the most dumbfounded idea of what was going on. And ultimately, I don't know. Like, the game was just borderline terrible, and for a return of Max Caulfield, it just felt very bizarre that they removed a lot of the edge that made Life is Strange such an incredible game. Instead, it kind of just said, you know what, we don't want to offend anyone, we have to make sure that everyone is holding hands in a share circle. Like, if you play Life is Strange 1 and then you play Life is Strange Double Exposure, you know what I'm getting at when it came to those profound choices compared to whatever they did for that. So I really hope that they learned, that they took the criticism to heart, and they're actually going to do something about the writing for this game, because the last one apparently didn't do well financially either. So let's see what they have in store.
I thought the storm would be the worst thing to hit Caledon. But now, I only have 3 days to save everyone.
Help!
Moses! All that destruction, and there was nothing I could do.
You bought us time. Time that we'll make the most of.
With so many lives at stake, I need all the help I can get. Safi?
In the flesh. If you saw this campus burn down, then it means it was supposed to happen. Who are you to stop it?
I know there are consequences to using your powers, but maybe this time is different?
Right when everything is falling into chaos. She walks in, like she heard her cue. Chloe? How are you here?
Lots to discuss. Right now, I think we should run.
Chloe.
Let's go, Max! I have memories of things that can't possibly be true. Max, did you do this?
Your visions, the fire, we'll figure it all out.
Whatever comes next, it will happen to us.
This isn't fair! You can't have come back to me just to end up here.
So it's not an episodic story. Free classic outfits. Okay, that trailer does not give me hope. So let me explain why. One, this seems like they're just recycling the story from Life is Strange 1. Time limit. The campus is about to be destroyed, and the ending hinting that Chloe is another sacrificial lamb in the situation. I don't know how they're going to deal with the fact that Chloe is alive or dead, depending on your choices from the first game, whether they're in a relationship or not. They did that in the double exposure, but it was kind of just like a tucked away situation. You would just say it, episode 1 and 2 would touch on it, and then it would just be gone forever. But in this case, it just seems like they're rehashing the first game. And it doesn't even have the same level of impact, because in the first game it was a giant tornado about to kill an entire town of people, and of course you're not going to be able to warn everyone about that, but in this, because they'll think you're crazy first of all, but in this one it's just a school campus is about to destroy, people are going to die. Like, how exactly is that going to happen? Like, I'm confused about this. This just seems like this right here, what's it saying? Stop the lies. What is that? A picture of Christopher Columbus, statue of Christopher Columbus? Like, oh my god. I really hope that's not the situation. This is just some founder of the school. But regardless, I'm just like... And then you bring back Safi. That's the problem. Like, in the original... In the previous game, you had an option to say, I never want to see you again. She said she wants to explore the world and find herself, and that she was going to find other people with powers and teach them to use them. So why in the hell is she back? Like, wouldn't she be a fugitive in a lot of ways because her mom knows who she is, and then her mom was like calling her a monster? Like, you see a lot of this stuff when you start to compare it to the first game's narrative. It doesn't make sense. She just shows up here at the very place she says she hates more than anything in the world. Not to mention, again, she was a lying, manipulative asshole. Why would anyone want her back into your life? Like, she lies to everyone. She manipulates people to get whatever she wants. Why are we supposed to like this person? Like, in real life, any other person who has this person in their life would say, get the hell out. Like, what the hell? Is it because she's hot? I'm really confused. But I don't know how I feel about the Chloe situation, because the whole point of the first Life is Strange game, and then with Life is Strange 2 coming out, was the fact that that was its own isolated story, and each new entry would have its own narrative focused on someone else with powers. Like in the second game, it was Daniel. In the third game, it was Alex. So I feel like the first game was supposed to be a close and done situation. Yes, you had the prequel before the storm, but I also felt like it was never meant to be a continuation. Like, whatever happened, happened, and that's it. You're not supposed to continue it with the next game. That's how I always felt. I feel like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the writers of this game know what they're doing. It was always meant to be a continuation, but I just don't see it here, because the whole idea of Chloe living or dying is just weird. Like, this guy seems familiar. You see the character from the Before the Storm, like the Stalker character? I'm not sure, but like, they're trying to... It's literally, it seems like a repeat of Life is Strange 1. Like, we can have another situation where we're going to have to decide whether Chloe lives or dies, or whether she's erased forever, for all eternity, because that was also something they touched on and they never explained it. Like, one of the cop character, he touched his other half from another dimension, and he was erased from existence. Like, just gone. Like, everything he ever did, everything he ever done, gone, which also has catastrophic effects, because what if he saved someone's life? He was a cop, a detective, which means, what if he saved someone's life? Does that mean that other person is dead? Like, you see, it has ripple effects that they really didn't really think through, and then everyone kind of forgets about that ability, about how if you touch your other self, you die, or how the idea that Max didn't, like, maybe Max might have a second character. It was shown here, like a mirror.
Maybe this time is different.
So maybe they were exploring that, because that was another criticism me and a lot of other people had. They were like, why does everyone else have like a second person in the other dimension but not Max? The common misconception was that because everything was running so perfectly, the other version of Max was in the other world, while this Max was in that world. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be episodic either. It seems that it's going to be... yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be episodic, which I'm all for. Like, because the original one was episodic, and I feel like a lot of people have moved past that type of format. But this is the pre-order page, so we have the complete game. We have the deluxe edition, which doesn't give you early access. That's good. And then we have the twin pack, which gives you both games, which is $60. So yeah. Let's see. received a pre-order. At least they're not doing the same thing like with the double exposure game where they locked off a DLC through pre-order. It was this like cat DLC, and it wasn't a big deal. It didn't affect the story at all, but the fact that there were trophies linked to it that a lot of people were annoyed with, which is a fair argument. But regardless, I don't really have hope for this. I feel like this is just a quick way to try, like, a lot of, it seems like they are recycling a lot of assets, which I have no problem with, as long as you do a good job with it. Like, Yakuza's notorious for that. But it really just feels like they're rehashing Life is Strange 1. They're bringing back Chloe for fan service to try and make it that because she was a popular character regardless of whether you liked her or not. A lot of people were kind of on edge with her. But I do feel like the story is just not going to learn it from its mistakes based on what I've seen here. It seems that they're just doing the same thing they did for Life is Strange 1, and then they're trying to hope that it will resonate with enough fans that it will capitalize on it, because like I said, the double exposure game did not do well. So I could be wrong. Like, this is just a trailer, but the trailer doesn't bode well from a person who's literally 100%ed every one of these games. But tell me what you think in the comments below if you're a Life is Strange fan, what you think of this. You can also tell how the game is performing based on the like and dislike ratio. I don't have that extension that tells you the dislikes, because that extension just basically tells you how many people have the extension installed, and based on those dislikes. It doesn't tell you the actual dislikes, but 666 likes over dislikes, that over 5k views, is not a good sign. Let's see the comment. Just get this over with. I have to be honest, it's like spitting on our face in an invisible way. So I'm not alone. A lot of people mirror my complaints about this, that this literally feels like it's just a rehash of Life is Strange 1, and this idea that this is the conclusion to Chloe and Max's story is just market speak for them trying to get people who love the first game and play this one, which is a common practice, but it almost never ends well, because whenever people say, oh yeah, we're going to do the same thing that the first game did, we can still play the first game. The first game is still a very closed loop. That's the other thing. Like, Life is Strange 1 was a closed loop in its own execution. Like, you could play that game, and whatever ending you get, that's the canon ending for your story. But the fact they're doing this, along with double exposure, it kind of just completely throws a wrench into things. And that's the real problem. It messes up the first game by trying to have a continuation with these two next games. And they really have to do this well, because if they don't, it's going to ruin everything. It's like with Sly 4. Like, the original Sly Cooper trilogy was perfect the way it start, middle, and end. Absolute great execution. Then they made Sly 4, and it completely ruined everything. They ruined Bentley Penelope's relationship. They ruined the overall narrative, and they left it in a huge cliffhanger, which remains unfinished to this day. So it's the same thing with Mass Effect Andromeda, but in that game, that's a closed game. Yes, they have links to the original trilogy, but the fact they left it as a cliffhanger and only answered some bare minimum questions with the comic book just makes it worse. So I feel like this is not going to end well. It's going to be something that throws another wrench into this story for Max Caulfield, and unless they do something really... Oh, it went 669. Nice. Unless they do something very well with this, and I mean really, really well, I just don't see it. Especially, it doesn't help, like, the stakes just aren't that high. Oh my god, the campus is just going to be set on fire. They don't have an execution plan. Like, every campus I've been on, I went to Brooklyn College, I went to City College for College Now classes. All of them had, like, escape plans and all of this. Like, did someone just set off like a huge, like, C4 bomb or something? Like, it's just, like, very confusing of how they're going to execute this to make it feel like I even care at this point. Especially when you have someone as insufferable as Safi coming back. But they ruined it. But that's it from me. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm gonna play it when it comes out. I'm gonna 100% it so I can give my full, thorough dissection of it. But yeah, not looking good.